Ever since a cargo ship destroyed Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge last month, our CBS News data team, yep, we've got a data team, has been checking other bridges to ask, where else could this happen? The answer may scare you because it's a lot of places. We found 215 U.S. counties where at least one bridge is not properly protected. Chris Van Cleve visited one of those sites.
The cargo ship Dolly colliding with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, leading to its collapse, was the exact worst-case scenario engineers about 90 minutes away in Delaware had feared for years.
The system that we have in place has stopped previous impacts, but it's not enough to stop the bigger ones.
If a large cargo ship were to hit this bridge, how catastrophic is that impact?
There's a good possibility there could be a collapse. We want to make sure that it definitely does not strike that tower.
To do that, the Delaware River and Bay Authority is racing to finish a $95 million project to protect the base of the Delaware Memorial Bridge from a collision with a ship even larger than the one in Baltimore. The more than 50-year-old bridge handles about 100,000 vehicles daily, connecting the New Jersey Turnpike with Interstate 95 in Delaware. Workers are now installing what amounts to 8 man-made steel islands, 80 feet in diameter, blocking the support piers of the bridge.
You see this as a giant insurance policy.
We're hoping that nothing ever strikes it, but if we have a strike, we've got something in place.
CBS News data analysis identified 425 bridges in 36 states over waterways used by large vessels like cargo and cruise ships, where inspectors deemed the pier protection inadequate, either because it's deteriorating, needed to be redesigned, or wasn't in place at all. That was the case with 269 bridges, where inspectors called for reevaluation by local and state authorities. Like the Lewis and Clark Bridge over the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington. Large cargo ships pass by its unprotected piers daily. Nearby resident Jerry Rager has been pressing state officials to add protections for years.
It does concern me because if a ship hits the pier, it's going to go out.
After a cargo ship crashed into the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Tampa in 1980, causing a section to collapse and killing 35, new bridges were required to have improved fortifications. While bumpers and islands were added to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge to better protect it, those updates are not required for bridges predating 1991, like Baltimore's Key Bridge. That's despite the size of cargo ships quadrupling in the last 45 years.
We have so much infrastructure that has so much need that you have to prioritize dollars where it's going to make the most impact. And those are hard choices.
We identified 30 different bridges in New York and 20 others in Pennsylvania alone that did not have pier protection. These projects don't happen fast. They began planning for the Delaware project as far back as 2015. About a quarter of the cost is being funded by grants from the federal government. They expect it to be done by September of next year.
Boy, Chris, we keep meeting like this. You can't fly if you've got worries. I don't know, driving is now out. Maybe there's some old horse trails to get you back home to Phoenix.
Well, I got my bike. I'll just ride back.
We keep talking to these politicians about infrastructure week, and then, you give a number like that, 425 bridges that are inadequate. What's going to be done about it?
Yeah, well, people don't want to pay for them often.
All I know is it's nice to have 2 hits of Chris Van Cleve in 1 hour. Lucky us.
Thanks for having me.
Always good to see you, Chris Van Cleve.